Hey, my name's Yukio. I work for Ableton in Berlin. I'm one of their sales and marketing guys. So what we do is we manage partnerships in different parts of the world and talk about live and talk to users, talk to shops and that sort of thing, and kind of get an idea, getting a feel for what Ableton's all about in outside world, outside of Berlin, so to speak. You know. Yeah, Ableton's a pretty amazing product. Ableton Live has been around for, I want to say we're on our 8th version. So the company itself has been around for 10 years. We just celebrated last year our 10th year anniversary. So we've been around for a while now, I guess, and we have about 120 people, I'd say, around the world, from freelancers to employees actually working in one of our 2 offices, one in Berlin where the mothership is, so to speak, and in New York City where we have a small office focusing on sales and marketing for the United States and Canada. So what is Ableton? Ableton's a piece of computer software that basically turns your computer into an instrument for making sound, production, and performance. So the motto we like to use is create, produce, perform. Basically from getting down your ideas and organizing them in a certain way that makes sense to you, and then taking those ideas and moving them into a linear timeline-based production context, perfecting those ideas, and then taking those ideas on stage with your computer using controllers or microphones or instruments or whatever you want. So we have users that range from all the way from DJs to studio producers, to theater performances, to educators, to the list goes on. So it's a really flexible platform.
So tell us, like, in terms of flexibility, how did you see Ableton integrate into people's workflow? And one thing I've heard from the other guys was speed. It was like Ableton is really quick to use.
Yeah. The thing about Ableton that's Ableton Live, which is so interesting, is that it's very different things to very different people. So for some people it's just a way to get some ideas down, and then taking those ideas and putting them into a traditional DAW sequencer, maybe Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase, what have you. For other people it's a complete solution. So using it for getting ideas, but then actually taking those ideas to the next level. The idea behind Ableton Live has always been workflow. So basically creating a piece of software that's so aligned to your creative juices, so to speak, or your musical ideas, that it's almost like transparent to the things that you have in your head. So the idea about speed is really you mentioned speed being a key concept. Our aim is really to increase the speed at which you can get the ideas from your brain into the computer, basically getting those down into some sort of form that you can work with.
And how'd you do that?
There are 2 modes in Ableton Live. The first mode is the session view, where you have a collection, a matrix, if you will, of different clips, as it were. They're basically musical ideas, and then on the other hand you have what we call the arrangement view, which is more the traditional linear style. So on the left you hit play or record, and it goes to the right, and whatever you do in the time that from after you hit record gets recorded down into in a timeline, so to speak. And the reason we have the session view is, well, there's a lot of reasons we have the session view, but in terms of speed of getting your ideas down, the session view is really great at just say, okay, I really like this riff. I'm gonna just play it in the I'm gonna hit record a clip, take down some audio, take down some MIDI information, and just experiment a little bit. And then maybe there's one part of that little experimentation that really like, so let's take that idea and build on that. So the idea of like building and experimenting without being tied to a set timeline is really important, and that's why the session view really enables artists to first make music and then be worried about how to produce it in a sort of a track.
But in terms of session view, it's amazing how you in Ableton how you can actually construct a piece of music live.
Yeah.
So you can start with your template,
Right.
and then just develop it.
If you look at it historically, traditional sequencers that go, the sort of left to right sequencers, they were really meant to emulate tape machines. So, basically take this whatever was in the studio, these big band, tape machines, and basically reproduce that onto a computer screen. And Ableton came along to basically say, well, a computer can do a lot more. The founders of Ableton and the initial developers thought was, what, all this stuff, these audio, audio effects and MIDI effects and all these things, they can actually be done in real time. Computers are fast enough to be able to make very, very simple changes and give the artist actually the feedback right away. So this whole idea of real time really makes it very much different in terms of a production platform or an idea platform it sort of differentiates it quite starkly from the other traditional sequencers.
Cool. So can you tell us a bit about Robert Henke, famous Monolake?
He's an artist, professor now, also developer who was there also from the very, very beginning. Worked with Gerhard Belis, and originally they were together as Monolake, and he continued the Monolake under the Monolake moniker, so to speak. In a lot of ways, he drove a lot of the ideas behind Ableton Live in the very beginning, and I think he remains a very present part of our development team. You tend to get a lot of people who have been around for a while, know the software inside out, and but he's certainly a spiritual leader, so to speak, of from the very beginning, and I think he's a great artist, and we're very lucky to have him in the Ableton family.
Can you please hint us the way the Ableton is going? I mean, how is it going to, generally speaking, how is it going to develop in the future?
Well, we're Ableton has always been about the platform Ableton Live, and so we're just working really hard on. We got our developers and our product people and our sales people and our marketing people working really hard to produce the next version of Ableton Live, and that's our focus. And I think in the future, who knows? The sky's the limit. I think we have some great partnerships. One very, very interesting partnership is the partnership we started 2 years ago, or even before then, with Cycling 74, San Francisco based.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
How does that collaboration look like?
The collaboration is basically working day to day, and we have cycling developers working in our office, and basically perfecting this platform to basically open up and make Ableton Live an extendable piece of software that is driven by community-based software solutions in the Max universe, so to speak. And so we're just super excited about all the different things that are coming out. I mean, we here at ADE, for instance, we've been just seeing a lot of really interesting Max for Live solutions for live performance, for instance, controlling lights and video imagery, visual, so to speak, for live performance. Big, large format performances, and I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, in terms of the sort of the economy that's growing out of this platform, so it's really excellent.
But do you also see Ableton going modular at some point as well? Because obviously Max is quite modular, and it'd be great to see Ableton going modular as well.
You could probably say that Ableton is quite modular in itself as it is.
Yeah.
So I mean,
even more modular.
Even more. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. I think the basic principle of Ableton Live, this flexibility about I'm going to take this effect and I'm just going to put it over here and drop it, drag and drop it, and all that stuff is sort of a testament to this nature of the software. But I think where it's going to go, if it's I don't know. I think that's it remains to be seen.
Yeah, it'd be amazing also to see Ableton develop their own controller. Because like nobody can really know Ableton like Ableton guys.
Well, that's for sure. But we've had some pretty impressive success with these two integrated controllers that we have on, or three integrated controllers that we have on the market now. The Launchpad by Novation, and also the APC20 and the APC40. Those have been pretty amazing in terms of for everybody involved in the creation of this hardware, and so I think we'll see. We just we'll see how it goes. But it's been quite a ride.
Amazing. Can I just ask you to dedicate these last 60 seconds of this tape to young producers and Ableton enthusiasts?
Yeah.
Because obviously there's a hell of a lot of people who want to get into Ableton and
Sure.
get into production
Yeah.
and start using it, and not only start using it but start making really good stuff with it.
Right.
So what would you say to those guys?
Find somebody they like that uses Ableton Live, and go ask them how they do it, and ask them to download their live set and just mess around with it. And we've got a large community of certified trainers around the world that can help out. Get in there and get your hands dirty. That's all I'd say. There's enough people out there to help, and I think they should just not be shy to ask for some help. So.
Great, guys. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah.
And thanks Ableton for giving us such an amazing product.
Cheers. Thank you.